This is my second rebuttal video to Sly Sparkane's second video falsely claiming that I am lying. First, I will post his video and answer him in yellow words on his video. He first claims that I deleted the video as though I was hiding something which couldn't be further from the truth. I deleted the video because I corrected the incorrectly drawn line on the plane, and I made note of it in the description of the new video. Of course, he never made mention of this. So who is really being dishonest here? He then claims that I was calling him all kinds of names. Actually, I was identifying all his false claims about my videos. Sly was the first to call me a liar and then made a video indicating such. He makes it sound as though I started this. He was the first to begin commenting on my videos. Are you beginning to see Sly's modus operandi? He then goes on a tirade of how, quote, I examine the claim as it is claimed remaining true to all available data, supporting the claim itself, unquote. Unfortunately for him, he does not live by his own words, particularly concerning my video, and as I have watched his videos, he tends to pick and choose data that supports his claim and completely ignores the most vital data that completely refutes or debunks his conclusions. So let us begin the adventure of dissecting exactly what Sly is saying and see if it can stand the test of scrutiny, truth, and reality.
26th of January, I displayed a lie by Jeremiah Sturk. It was something he put up in one of his videos, which prompted him to actually delete the video. Since then, he's been on a 4-day crusade defending himself with threats, insults, and calling me a liar and a slanderer and blah, blah, blah. So that just kind of prompted me to look a little bit deeper. Here's a quick, simple definition of the word lie and what a lie is. Pay particular attention to where it says an intentional untruth, something that Jeremiah seems to think can be written off as a mistake. Now, before I go any further, I just want to make something clear here. I've made a couple of flat Earth simulations. When I do so, I try my best to examine the claim as it is claimed. Try to remain true to all the available data that supports the claim itself, regardless if I agree with the claim or the data itself. I don't just work with my version of it or how I want it to look, because that's how you properly research a claim. In order to discover a fact, you must first be open to the possibility that your original judgment and preconceptions might actually be wrong. And no, I do not consider people of a different opinion as liars. Going through his videos, this is the first one I found. There's 2 lies plus a whole bundle of ignorance, all in one frame. Go ahead and pause this if you want to read all this.
Okay, remember here, Sly says 2 lies and a bundle of ignorance in one frame. Let's see if this is true.
Together, but I'm going to cover pretty much all of it anyway. Jeremiah has used this particular image in 2 of his videos. Now, this is the ignorance part. No, I don't consider it necessarily a lie, even though he's just being stupid about it. Go ahead and read all this stuff. I'll put little comments on there. I'm not going to go through this in great detail.
Not sure what Sly is trying to prove here, but a composite is made up of various parts or elements, compounds, complex, combined, blended, mixed, a composite structure. And a picture is an image. Just look it up. I have it right here. Also, there is such thing as composite pictures. Composite pictures are usually presented as one final picture, the globes that I show here, with added elements from some other images, thus changing the meaning of the original.
The lie in this case is actually the captions for the 2 graphics that he has on there, the 2 pictures of Earth. Now, this image right here, now he's making a separate claim here. He's talking about how the landmass of North America is different between the 2 images. Now, that's fine. There's an obvious difference between the 2 of them. However, here's the problem. He claims that NASA is claiming that this is a satellite picture taken on the 8th of January 2012. But claiming that this is a satellite picture, singular, or that NASA is even saying that it's a single satellite picture, is a lie.
Sly claims that the lie or problem, which in fact there is neither a lie or a problem, I did however make two oversights. One is the date for the 2012 Globe, which is January 4th of 2012 and not January 8th, and the year for the bottom globe, which appears to be 2001. However, the 1978 image has been floating around for a long time as such. He then goes on to say that yes, there is a difference in the two pictures, but he completely avoids any discussion of why that is. That was the main purpose in my posting these images in the first place. A little bait and switch here, Sly. Then he falsely claims that I said it was a singular satellite picture. I never said singular, which is a lie. In fact, he just spent a few minutes discussing composite images from my words. He completely disregards the comments I made to the right of the globes, clearly showing that I was saying it is a satellite picture, a CGI composited picture. This is where he completely ignores evidence that disproves his conclusion.
Not to mention you screwed the date up. This is the actual text that's listed on NASA's website. It does not claim to be a single shot, rather a composite. So nowhere in that is NASA claiming that it is a single shot of the Earth from anywhere. Now let's move on to the second image, and this one was really funny to me. This one claims to be a single satellite image taken from, what does it say there? 1978, apparently taken by NASA. Single shot photo taken by NASA in 1978. Okay. Again, the same thing. NASA doesn't claim that it's a single picture. NASA doesn't portray it as a single picture. And NASA doesn't even say that it is a single picture of the Earth. Here's the text. So basically, Jeremiah has lied in two claims on one frame. He's claiming this. Okay, and it seems to be his signature background stuff there with the grid on the background. I don't know what that's from. It's probably a layout in whatever editor he's using. So I can only believe that he didn't actually copy this from somebody else. This is his own stuff. So these are his claims. Sorry, Jeremiah. That's two lies. And here's another reason why I found it funny that you used that picture. What do you call it? FEs love this picture. That was one of the first ones that I ever saw when I was looking at any of these FE videos, because of the fact that there are some duplications, some clone work done on there when portions of the Earth either didn't come out right or were even missed when being orbited by the satellite. But again, you lied anyway, saying that it was a photo supposedly from the 70s and saying that NASA claimed that. Yeah, go ahead. The go fast rocket footage. Blah, 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 times and dates, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's the moon. Yeah, okay. It's all good, right? Right. However, if you read it more carefully, he's misrepresenting data again, intentionally, in writing, so that means he's lying. Let me show you why. In his text, it says, in order to see the moon, which we are told is 230,000 miles away, okay, mind you, he quoted 230,000 miles away, which means that should be the numbers that he's using. Considering the curvature of the Earth, the rocket would have to go at least 505 miles high in order to see the moon. Sounds like a guy who can crunch some numbers, right? Well, if you actually do the math, that 505 miles, that 505 miles is considering that the moon is 3,000 miles high above the actual measurements of the globe. So you're mixing the two things on purpose. Okay, you state that the moon is 230,000 miles away, but yet you do the measurements and your math as to what altitude the rocket needed to be to see the moon if the moon was 3,000 miles away from the surface of the globe. That's lying. If you really wanted to comply with your 3,000 mile claim, the distance you display here is only about 1,400 miles, which if I move the line over, is about the distance from Banyan-Nur to Haikou, China. You stated the distance to the moon, then you stated the false result to that distance, and then made a graphic that supports neither of them. That makes this a deliberate deception, therefore it is... what other word would you use for it? I know you want to say, oh, it was a mistake. No, This is a lie, man.
Sly fell on his face in the first part of this video. The second part of his claim, he fell off the cliff. He again starts his video with calling me a liar. His first mistake in this part of the Go Fast rocket launch calculations is, I never said the position of the moon to the Earth was to scale. Again, he omits this fact. He also fails to inform his audience that in my last video, I changed the distance of the rocket to 450 miles. Just a sly mistake. I made 4 videos on this and used 2 distances for the moon. The first was based on 230,000 miles above the Earth, and the last video was based on the 238,000 miles above the Earth. Sly then does his own erroneous calculations and claims that with the rocket being 505 miles above the Earth, and the distance between the launch location and the moon translates into the moon being 3,012 miles above the Earth. I am going to show you that Sly's calculations are not only inaccurate, but ludicrous. Here is why he is wrong. He calculates the 505 miles and calculates the distance between the 2 locations and comes up with 3,012 miles of Earth curvature and claims that this is the distance between the Earth and the moon. But in actual reality, he has only calculated the curvature of the Earth between the launch location and the moon, and not the distance you can see the moon from a particular elevation. My calculation stands, and he did nothing to answer, refute, or debunk the fact that a rocket 72 miles up with a distance of 6,400 miles between launch site and Earth being around 763 miles of curvature, there is no way the moon would be seen by the rocket 73 miles above the Earth on a spinning globe 25,000 miles in circumference. However, on a flat Earth, it is absolutely no problem, which was my point in creating the videos in the first place. So no, Sly, I have not lied, nor am I ignorant. The following video by my friend Rafi will help you to visualize this.
Bonus, and I really hope Jeremiah wasn't being serious on this next one, but I'll show you a reason why I decided to point it out. Now, it's okay to use graphics when you make it aware that you're using graphics. This right here is a transparent GIF or a ping image over one of those high altitude balloon images that was straightened out. You can also notice the border markers around the image. I wouldn't have pointed this out if he didn't do this just a few seconds later. He writes, reality above it. Is it reality? You can't see that that is a simple image, probably from a flight simulator or something like that, some kind of image bank of different aircraft models, which is fine if you are intending on calling it that. However, he writes reality above it. I'm not going to call this one a lie, but at the same time, really?
As you can see, by the time the rocket was launched, the moon was in this area, right over Australia. So, if the Earth is a globe, it would be impossible to see the moon from Nevada, because the moon would basically be on the other side of the globe. To imagine this better, there's this website called solarsystemscope.com, and you can also simulate a date and time here, and I also put the right date in. I'm not sure about the time zone here, so I just placed it so the moon would be above Australia, like we saw it on timeanddate.com. So if the Earth is a globe, and if this is our solar system, then tell me, how is it possible to see the moon, which would be here, from Nevada, USA, which is here? It's impossible. So if you say that the Earth is a globe, please tell me how this is possible.